The Krell were an advanced alien race, known across the galaxy for their incredible technology and intelligence. Their ships could travel faster than light, and their sensors could detect life forms across entire star systems. They had explored countless planets, studying different species, and had come to believe that there was nothing special about humanity. From their distant vantage point, Earth seemed like a planet full of primitive creatures, struggling to survive and unaware of the vast universe beyond their atmosphere. The Krell had one simple belief: humans were blind. This belief was not about sight, as humans could clearly see with their eyes. It was about something much deeper: perception. The Krell were convinced that humans were limited in their understanding of the universe. Their technology was far behind, their scientific knowledge primitive, and their instincts were based purely on basic survival, nothing more. The Krell thought that humans couldn't sense the hidden forces of the universe like the Krell could. The aliens believed that humans were oblivious to the true wonders of space, the hidden energies that pulsed around them, and the advanced technology that the Krell used to move through the stars. To the Krell, this made Earth an easy target. They decided to launch an invasion, believing they could conquer humanity effortlessly. They wouldn't even have to fight. The humans would never see them coming, and they would never understand the true nature of the Krell. The aliens could swoop in, take what they needed, and leave without facing much resistance. At least that was their plan. Their first step was to arrive quietly, without any major show of force. Using advanced cloaking technology, the Krell ships became invisible to human eyes. They could move around the Earth undetected, watching the humans from a distance. They studied Earth's cities, its people, and its way of life. They saw humans going about their daily routines, never suspecting the presence of the alien ships hovering silently overhead. The humans didn't even notice the changes in the environment. The Krell had expected them to notice strange electromagnetic disturbances, but the humans showed no sign of awareness. To the Krell, this confirmed their belief: the humans were blind. The Krell laughed to themselves, wondering how such a species had managed to survive for so long. In a small town in the heart of the country, a young woman named Maya was out for a walk in the evening. She noticed something strange as she strolled through the park. The sky above was clear, but there was a strange feeling in the air, a tingling sensation, like something wasn't quite right. She stopped for a moment, looking up, but saw nothing unusual. Shrugging it off, she continued walking, unaware of the cloaked Krell ship that was drifting above her, just out of sight. Elsewhere, Captain Arlo and his team of soldiers were stationed in a military base, far away from the peaceful park. They had noticed strange readings coming from Earth's atmosphere, though they couldn't yet explain the source. Arlo wasn't sure what to make of it, but he trusted his instincts. Something wasn't right. His team had been monitoring the electromagnetic fields around Earth, and they had detected subtle disruptions in the natural order. It was small, but enough to raise suspicion. Still, there was no sign of an alien invasion. The Krell had underestimated the humans. They thought that humans were too simple to notice the subtle changes in their environment. But Maya's walk wasn't the only one disrupted by strange forces. All across the world, small anomalies were occurring, brief moments of weirdness that no one could explain. But to the Krell, they were just background noise. At the Krell Command Center, high above Earth in a darkened spaceship, Rylak, the leader of the invasion force, looked out at the planet. His eyes glowed with confidence. They were on the brink of success. He smiled, pleased with how easily they would conquer this world. The Krell had been observing humanity for years, and they knew that humans would never be able to stop them. "They don't even know we're here," Rylak said, turning to his second-in-command. "This will be the easiest conquest in history." His second-in-command, Kale, nodded. "The humans are weak. They're blind to our presence. They won't even fight back." But Rylak didn't see what was coming. Neither did Kale. What they didn't realize was that the humans were not blind. The Krell had failed to understand the true nature of humanity. Humans might not have had advanced technology like the Krell, but they had something that the aliens couldn't measure: their instincts, their resilience, and a deep connection to the world around them. The Krell would soon learn that humans saw more than they ever realized. As the Krell ships continued to hover above Earth, the humans unknowingly started to prepare for a fight. The strange sensations Maya felt and the weird disturbances that Arlo's team detected were only the beginning. Earth wasn't as blind as the Krell thought. The invasion was about to begin, but the Krell's biggest mistake was about to be revealed. This sets the stage for the unfolding conflict between humans and the Krell, with hints of the humans' true strength beginning to surface. The Krell were confident. They had been watching Earth for months, quietly observing humanity's every move. They saw no signs of resistance, no signs of awareness. Humans lived their lives, unaware of the alien presence above them. To the Krell, this was all the proof they needed. The humans were blind, unable to see the larger picture, unable to sense the vast power that was about to descend upon them. In a hidden command center aboard a cloaked Krell ship orbiting Earth, Raylak watched the planet below. His expression was calm, almost bored. The invasion had begun in the most calculated way. Their ships, invisible to human technology, had infiltrated Earth's atmosphere. No alarms had been raised. No military had detected them. The Krell believed they were on the verge of a perfect conquest. Raylak, Kale, his second in command, spoke in a low voice, his eyes glowing slightly. The humans show no signs of noticing us. We've been here for days, and they haven't made a single move. It's like they don't even know we're here. Raylak's lips curled into a smile. That's because they don't know. Their primitive technology can't detect our ships, and their weak minds can't sense the true nature of our presence. We will take what we need and leave them to continue their simple lives. The Krell had a plan. They would begin by capturing a few humans, studying them, and taking samples from Earth's environment. Once they gathered the information they needed, they would take control of Earth's resources. They would use the humans as tools, nothing more. Back on the ground, Maya was having another strange day. The feeling of being watched, of something being off, had intensified. Every morning, she felt the same odd sensation, a tingling on the back of her neck. It was as if the world itself was shifting in a way she couldn't understand. She wasn't the only one. Across the world, many humans had started to notice small changes in their surroundings, strange lights flickering in the sky, random electrical disturbances, odd vibrations underfoot. But no one had put the pieces together. They didn't know what to make of it. Maya sat in a small cafe, sipping her coffee when she saw a man in a corner booth. He was staring at her, his eyes wide, as if he could see something no one else could. His face was pale, and he quickly looked away when their eyes met. She blinked, wondering if it had been her imagination. But then she heard a low hum coming from above. The sound was faint, almost imperceptible, but it made her heart race. "Are you all right?" the waitress asked her, noticing the sudden tension in her body. Maya nodded, trying to shake off the feeling. "Yeah, just a weird day." Across the world, Captain Arlo was still investigating the unusual electromagnetic disturbances that had been detected by his team. He had been skeptical at first, thinking it was just a glitch in their sensors. But as the days passed, the readings became harder to ignore. They were too precise, too calculated. Someone, was causing them. He couldn't shake the feeling that Earth was being washed. "Arlo, these readings are definitely not natural," Tara, one of his best engineers, said as she looked at the data on her screen. "The electromagnetic fields are shifting in a way that I've never seen before. It's like someone is manipulating them." Arlo rubbed his chin thoughtfully. "I think we might be dealing with something, or someone we don't understand yet." The team worked around the clock to analyze the data, trying to determine the source of the disturbances. But despite their efforts, they couldn't pinpoint anything specific. The Krell's cloaked ships were completely invisible to their sensors. The humans didn't even know the alien invasion was already underway. Meanwhile, the Krell, oblivious to the growing awareness among humans, proceeded with their plan. Rylak had ordered his soldiers to begin abducting small groups of humans for study. They would be taken in the dead of night, far away from the eyes of the public. The Krell believed this would be an easy operation, and they didn't expect the humans to react. But what the Krell didn't know was that the humans had an unexpected strength, their adaptability. While the Krell thought they were undetected, the humans were beginning to notice the subtle signs of their presence. The strange humming noises, the flickering lights, the odd vibrations. People were starting to put the pieces together, even if they didn't fully understand what was happening. The first group of humans to be taken was from a small farm in the countryside. The Krell swooped in, taking them without leaving a trace. But as they disappeared, the rest of the world began to feel the first ripple of change. People started asking questions. Where had the missing people gone? Why had no one seen anything? Back in the military base, Arlo's team was piecing together the clues. The odd disturbances, the missing people, and the increasing sense of unease. It was all starting to make sense. Something was out there. And the Krell would soon learn they had underestimated humanity's ability to fight back. The Krell had believed that they were the unseen predators, the ones with the power and control. But they hadn't realized that humanity had a power they couldn't detect, a power that was about to change everything. The Krell had never expected this. They had arrived on Earth, confident that their cloaked ships and advanced technology would keep them hidden from the humans. But now, a quiet, invisible battle was beginning. As the Krell continued their operations, something unexpected was happening. The humans were starting to notice. Maya's strange feeling had grown stronger with each passing day. At first, she thought it was just her imagination, but now it was undeniable. She couldn't explain it, but something in the air felt different, like there was a shift in the very fabric of reality. And it wasn't just her. More and more people were feeling the same way. She overheard conversations in the streets, people talking about odd flashes of light in the sky, strange humming noises late at night, and unexplained electrical outages. It was as if the world itself was reacting to the presence of something invisible. While Maya's instincts were growing sharper, the Krell were still convinced they were operating undetected. Rylak, leader of the Krell invasion force, stood in his command center, watching Earth through a holographic display. His mind was focused on the task at hand. The abductions were going smoothly, and the Krell were gathering valuable data from the captured humans. Everything was going according to plan. But then something unexpected happened. Rylak, Kale said, breaking the silence. His voice was filled with unease. The humans, they're starting to show signs of awareness. We've detected a pattern in their communications. It's subtle, but they seem to be noticing the disturbances. Rylak's brow furrowed. He hadn't expected this. He thought humans were too simple to notice anything beyond their narrow world. Impossible. How could they know? We don't know yet, Kale replied. But we're seeing evidence that they're starting to piece things together. It might just be a coincidence, but it's worth investigating. Rylak dismissed the thought for a moment. Focus on the mission, he said. The humans are too primitive to understand what's happening. Keep the operation moving forward. But Rylak couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. He ordered his ships to continue their work, but he began to grow more cautious. He wasn't ready to admit that the humans might be more aware than they appeared. Meanwhile, Captain Arlo and his team were getting closer to understanding what was happening. They had been studying the strange disturbances for days, and now they were beginning to connect the dots. Tara, the engineer, had been working tirelessly to decode the electromagnetic data they had collected. She was the first to realize that the Krell weren't just hiding in the shadows. They were manipulating the very energy fields around Earth. It was the only explanation for the odd fluctuations in the atmosphere. Arlo, Tara said, her voice filled with excitement. I think I've found something. These disturbances, they're not random. The Krell are creating them on purpose. It's like they're trying to cloak themselves, but they're leaving behind a trail a signature we can follow. Arlo leaned over her shoulder, studying the data. He could hardly believe it. The Krell, who were supposed to be invisible to human technology, had made a mistake. They had been too focused on their own superiority to realize that the humans had the ability to detect even the faintest changes in the world around them. "If we can track their signature, we can find them," Arlo said, his voice low with determination. "We can finally put an end to this." Tara nodded. "I think we can. But we'll need to act fast. The longer we wait, the more the Krell will have time to advance their plan." Arlo didn't hesitate. He knew they had to move quickly before the Krell could complete their mission. He gathered his team, and they began to prepare for their first strike. Meanwhile, Maya had no idea what was coming. She had been feeling a strange pull, a connection to something greater, something she couldn't fully explain. It wasn't just the weird disturbances anymore. It was as if her senses were heightened, as if she could feel the subtle energies around her. It was almost like she was seeing things in a way that others couldn't. She had always been good at noticing small details, little things that others missed. But now, it was different. It was like her mind was picking up on hidden patterns, on things that were just out of reach for most people. It was unsettling but fascinating at the same time. One evening, as Maya walked through the park again, she stopped suddenly. She wasn't sure why, but she felt drawn to a spot near the old oak tree. It was as if something was calling to her. She glanced around, seeing nothing out of the ordinary, but the sensation was unmistakable. She stepped forward and placed her hand on the tree's rough bark. For a moment, the tingling sensation returned, stronger this time. It wasn't just the wind she felt. It was something deeper, something ancient. Maya pulled her hand away, feeling both exhilarated and frightened. She didn't know what was happening, but she knew one thing for sure. The world was changing, and somehow she was connected to it. The Krell had underestimated humanity. They thought they could invade and conquer without anyone noticing, but they had missed something. The humans had a hidden strength, an ability to sense what others could not. It wasn't technology, it wasn't brute force. It was something deeper, a connection to the world around them, something the Krell could never understand. And this hidden strength was about to turn the tide in the battle for Earth. In this part, we see the growing awareness of the Krell's presence among humans and the beginning of humanity's unexpected resistance. Maya's heightened senses hint at something more, and Captain Arlo's team is starting to figure out how to track the Krell. The stage is set for the coming confrontation. You said, Part 4 to 670 words Kaleko or interesting Hunachaya, or third-person style Malekniha or simple basic English K use Karnaha. ChatGPT said. Part 4. The First Strike. The Krell were growing impatient. Despite their advanced technology and careful planning, they were beginning to realize that something wasn't right. The humans, whom they had underestimated, were starting to sense their presence. Rylak, the leader of the Krell, stood in front of a large holographic display, his eyes narrowing as he watched the patterns unfold. The humans were reacting, slowly but surely. They were starting to see through their cloaking technology. "Kel," Rylak said, his voice low and filled with concern. "The humans are starting to detect us. We cannot allow this to continue. We need to move faster, take control before they understand what's happening." Kale nodded, his own mind racing with plans. "Yes, Rylak, but we need more time. The humans have shown no organized resistance, and their military is weak. We can handle them if we just keep our focus." Rylak didn't share Cal's calm. He had grown accustomed to winning, and this unexpected twist made him uneasy. He stared at the planet below them, thinking for a moment. "We will take the fight to them," Rylak decided. "We can no longer afford to be passive. We strike now, before they are able to build any sort of defense." Back on Earth, Captain Arlo was making plans of his own. The discovery of the Krell's signature had been a turning point. His team now had a way to track the Krell ships, but they needed to act fast. The longer they waited, the stronger the Krell would become. They had already abducted humans and were continuing their operations. Arlo couldn't allow this to go on any longer. I don't know how much longer we have before they complete their mission, Tara said, staring at the data on her screen. We've found their cloaked ships, but they are spread across different parts of the planet. They're attacking in small, targeted strikes. Nothing too obvious. Nothing to alert the world's defenses. Arlo clenched his fists. We have to stop them now. If we wait, they'll take everything. We need to strike before they can do more damage. Tara nodded, her eyes sharp. We know where they are, but it won't be easy. They have the advantage of invisibility and speed. We need to hit them hard and fast. Arlo turned to his team. Get ready. We move in 12 hours. We'll hit their ships all at once. No hesitation. Maya had been feeling it all along. The strange energy in the air, the unease that had been building for days, it was all coming to a head. She couldn't explain it, but she felt like the world was on the brink of something big. Every time she tried to ignore it, the sensation grew stronger. It was as if the universe itself was pushing her to do something. And then, one night, she couldn't ignore it any longer. She found herself standing outside, staring at the sky, where she had often seen odd flashes of light. This time, it wasn't a flash. It was a low hum that vibrated in the air, almost like a pulse. She looked around, trying to make sense of it. There were no stars in sight, just a strange, glowing shimmer far above. Her heart raced. The hum grew louder. She felt drawn to it, almost like it was calling her. For a moment, she was afraid, but the pull was too strong. She had to know what it was. Without thinking, she began walking toward the center of town. The strange hum seemed to be coming from a specific direction. As she walked, more people joined her, each of them seeming to feel the same strange pull. They were silent, their steps synchronized, as if they had all heard the same call. When they reached the town square, they stopped. There in the center, a bright light suddenly appeared. It wasn't a flash. This was different. The light was steady, almost like a beacon. Maya stepped forward, her instincts telling her that this was important. As she reached the light, a sense of clarity washed over her. It was as if she could see the world in a new way, as if the veil of ignorance had been lifted. She didn't know what was happening, but she knew one thing. This was the beginning. The Krell had been watching the humans, waiting for the right moment to strike, but they had underestimated them. Now, they were about to face something they didn't understand. Rylak's orders were clear. Launch the first wave, he said, his voice cold and commanding. We take them by surprise. Destroy their cities, capture their leaders, and make them submit. The first wave of Krell ships descended, breaking their cloaks to reveal themselves to the humans. They hovered above the major cities, their weapons charging, ready to strike. The Krell had expected the humans to panic, to scatter in fear. What they didn't expect was the calm resolve that spread among the people. Maya, standing in the town square, wasn't afraid. She felt the hum of the universe deep within her, like a fire that was ready to burn. She wasn't sure how, but she knew that somehow she was connected to the coming battle. The humans were not as blind as the Krell had thought. The first wave of attacks had begun, but the humans weren't just standing by. They were ready to fight back. The Krell would soon learn that humanity's strength came not from their technology or their military power, but from their heart, their unity, and their ability to stand together when it mattered most. The sky above Earth burned with flashes of light as the Krell ships descended. Their weapons hummed with deadly energy, ready to bring destruction. Cities around the world were caught in the terrifying moment between peace and war. But something was wrong. The humans were not reacting the way the Krell had expected. Rylak stood in his command center, watching the invasion unfold. He had been sure that the humans would panic, scatter like insects before a storm. Instead, something strange was happening. The humans weren't running in blind terror. They were preparing. Sir, Kale said, his voice tense. The humans are resisting. They are organizing faster than we predicted. Rylak's eyes narrowed. Impossible. They have no way to detect us, no way to understand our presence. Kale hesitated, looking at the latest reports. That's not true anymore. Somehow, they know where we are. They are coordinating attacks, using their technology to track our movements. Rylak clenched his fists. He had been so certain of their victory, but now, for the first time, he felt something unexpected. Doubt. On the ground, Captain Arlo and his team were in motion. Using the Krell's energy signatures, they had located several enemy ships. With military precision, they'd launched a counterattack. Fighter jets soared through the sky, engaging in the first battle against an alien force. Tara, status. Arlo shouted as he ran through the underground command bunker. We've locked onto their frequency, Tara said, her hands flying across the control panel. Our weapons are still weaker than theirs, but we can see them now. That's all we need. Arlo nodded. Then we hit them where it hurts. The first human missiles launched, striking a Krell scout ship. The explosion lit up the night sky. For the first time, the Krell realized something terrifying. Humans could fight back. Maya stood in the town square, staring up at the sky. The strange energy she had felt for days was now overwhelming. It pulsed through her, filling her mind with a sense of clarity she had never known before. Around her, others had gathered. People who, like her, had sensed something. They weren't soldiers. They were ordinary people, yet they all felt the same thing. They were connected to something greater. Then, without warning, the hum in the air grew louder. Maya gasped as her vision blurred. For a moment, she wasn't looking at the town square anymore. She was seeing something else, an image forming in her mind. She saw the Krell ships above, their hidden energy fields shifting like waves. And then she saw their weakness. Their shields, she whispered, realizing what was happening. Their shields have a pattern. A man next to her turned, his eyes wide. What did you say? Maya's heart pounded. Their shields. They flicker at certain points. If we attack in those moments, we can break through. She didn't know how she knew this. It was like the knowledge had always been there, waiting to be unlocked. One of the people nearby, a radio operator for the local defense forces, quickly relayed her message. Moments later, fighter jets adjusted their attacks. Missiles struck at the precise moments when the Krell shields flickered. And then, it happened. A massive Krell warship exploded in the sky. Rylak watched in horror as the impossible occurred. A human attack had worked. One of their great warships was gone, destroyed by mere humans. How? He whispered. How did they know? Cal's voice was filled with disbelief. Sir, it's not just their technology. It's the humans. Some of them. They can see us. Rylak turned sharply. What? Cal's hands trembled as he pointed to the data before them. Their awareness is growing. Some of them are connected to the energy field we use to cloak our ships. They can sense us. Rylak's mind raced. This was no longer a simple invasion. The humans had an ability the Krell had never encountered before. For the first time, Rylak felt something else. Fear. On Earth, the battle raged on, but hope had been lit like a flame in the darkness. The Krell had thought the humans were blind, weak, unprepared. But now, they knew the truth. The humans could see them. And they were fighting back. The battle for Earth was no longer one-sided. The Krell had come believing they were unseen, invincible, and unstoppable. But they had made a terrible mistake. The humans had found a way to fight back. Captain Arlo stood in the underground command center, his fists clenched as reports came in. Across the world, human forces were striking back with newfound precision. The key had been Maya's discovery, her strange ability to see the Krell's energy patterns. It had changed everything. Tara, give me an update, Arlo ordered. Tara's fingers danced over the control panel. The Krell are struggling. Our pilots are targeting their shield flickers, and it's working. We've taken down 3 more ships in the last hour. A small but fierce smile appeared on Arlo's face. Good. We keep the pressure on. We're not just surviving anymore. We're winning. Above Earth, Rylak watched the battle with growing frustration. He had never faced resistance like this before. Humans were supposed to be blind to the Krell's presence, but now they saw not with their eyes, but with something deeper. How is this possible? Rylak growled. Kale, his second in command, hesitated before responding. We don't fully understand yet, sir, but we've confirmed that certain humans can detect our energy fields. And worse, their awareness is spreading. Rylak's hands tightened into fists. Spreading? Kale nodded, his voice tense. It started with just a few, but now more humans are showing signs of heightened perception. Their ability is evolving. For the first time, Rylak felt true fear. If this continued, the humans wouldn't just resist. They would overcome *. We have no choice, Rylak muttered. Prepare the final phase. We will destroy their strongest points of resistance. If we don't break them now, we never will. Maya sat on the rooftop of an abandoned building, staring at the sky. The flashes of battle reflected in her wide eyes. She could feel the energy shifting, like waves in an ocean only she could sense. More and more people were starting to feel it too. It wasn't just her anymore. She had overheard soldiers and civilians alike describing the same strange awareness. It was as if humanity itself was waking up to something ancient, something forgotten. A soft voice broke her thoughts. Maya. She turned to see an older woman, Mrs. Collins, the local librarian. The woman's face was filled with awe. I don't know how to explain it, Mrs. Collins said, but I can feel them too. The Krell. It's like they can't hide from me anymore. Maya's heart pounded. It was happening faster than she had imagined. You can see them. Not with my eyes, the woman admitted, but I know where they are. Maya stood up, her mind racing. If more people were awakening to this strange ability, then humanity had a real chance. This wasn't just about fighting with weapons anymore. This was something bigger. The Krell weren't just losing a war. They were losing their greatest advantage. They were no longer invisible. Inside the Krell command ship, alarms blared. The humans had launched another counterattack, this time aimed directly at the Krell's main base, hidden in Earth's orbit. Sir, our cloaking fields are failing, a Krell technician shouted. The humans are locking onto our location. Rylak's eyes burned with fury. We still have superior firepower. Launch an all-out strike. Kale hesitated. Sir, even if we destroy their cities, it won't change the fact that they see us now. They are adapting too fast. Rylak slammed his fist against the control panel. Then we burn them to the ground before they adapt any further. Back on Earth, Captain Arlo received an urgent message. Sir, Tara called out. We've intercepted Krell transmissions. They're planning a final assault, a massive attack on all major human cities. Arlo's jaw tightened. They're desperate. Tara nodded. If we don't stop them now, millions will die. Arlo took a deep breath. This was it. The moment that would decide the future of humanity. Then we don't hold back, he said. We hit them with everything we have. He turned to his team. Send the message to all resistance forces. This is our last stand. We either stop them now, or we lose everything. As the final battle loomed, Maya felt the energy around her grow stronger. The Krell thought they could destroy humanity, but they didn't understand what was truly happening. The humans weren't just resisting. They were evolving. And soon, the Krell would realize their greatest mistake. Humanity was no longer the prey. They were the hunters. Asterisk asterisk to be continued. Asterisk asterisk. Hashtag asterisk asterisk part 7. Humanity strikes back asterisk asterisk. The sky burned with the fire of battle. The Krell's warships descended, their weapons glowing with deadly energy. Across the planet, alarms blared as the final assault began. This was it, the moment that would decide Earth's fate. But humanity was ready. Captain Arlo stood at the heart of the underground command center, his voice steady as he spoke into the radio. All units, this is it. The Krell think they can break us, but they're wrong. We see them now. We know how to fight them. And we will not lose. Cheers erupted from soldiers and pilots across the world. The Krell had always relied on stealth and deception, but now they had been exposed. Their greatest strength had turned into their greatest weakness. Targets locked, Terra announced. All major Krell ships are visible. We have clear shots. Arlo gave the order. Fire everything. Missiles streaked through the air, laser cannons roared to life, and fighter jets soared into battle. The first wave of Krell ships exploded in the sky, their shields unable to protect them now that humans had learned their pattern. The war was no longer one-sided. Rylak watched in horror as his fleet suffered heavy losses. He had never imagined that humans, primitive, blind creatures, could fight like this. They are supposed to be weak, he roared. They should have been defeated by now. Kel's voice was filled with dread. Sir, they're not weak They are something we've never encountered before. Rylak clenched his fists. He refused to accept defeat. Then we destroy their strongest force. Target the human command center. The largest Krell warship charged its weapons, aiming directly at the underground base where Arlo and his team were leading the resistance. One direct hit would wipe them out completely. Maya felt the shift before anyone else, a deep burning pulse in her mind. She looked up, her breath catching as she saw the massive Krell warship charging its cannons. They're going to destroy the command center, she gasped. Around her, more people were starting to feel it too. Their strange new awareness had grown stronger. Maya wasn't the only one who could see the energy flows now. There were hundreds, maybe thousands of humans who had awakened to this hidden sense. For the first time, she understood what was happening. The Krell had believed humans were blind. But humans weren't blind at all. They had simply never needed to see like this before. Now, under threat, their minds had adapted. They were evolving, becoming something more. Maya turned to the people around her. We can stop them. We know where they are. We know their weaknesses. We just have to focus. She raised her hand, closing her eyes, reaching out with her mind. Others followed, doing the same. They weren't scientists, they weren't soldiers, but they were something the Krell could never understand. The energy in the air shifted, and then the impossible happened. The massive Krell warship, the one aiming at the command center, suddenly hesitated. Its weapons flickered, its systems glitched. Inside the ship, alarms blared as controls became unresponsive. What's happening? Rylak shouted. Kel's face paled. The humans, they are interfering with our energy fields. They are disrupting us. Rylak's blood ran cold. That's not possible. But it was possible. The humans had tapped into something deeper than technology. They had broken through the barriers of perception. And now, they were turning the Krell's own power against them. Captain Arlo saw the moment the Krell's attack faltered. Their largest warship was struggling, its systems failing. He didn't hesitate. All units, now's our chance. Take them down. Missiles and energy blasts rained upon the crippled warship. Explosions tore through its hull. And then, with one final, massive eruption, the Krell's flagship was destroyed. The shockwave sent debris raining from the sky. A deep silence followed. And then, across the battlefield, the remaining Krell ships began retreating. They're running. Terra cried out. Arlo exhaled, his heart pounding. We did it. On the Krull command ship, Rylak stared at the wreckage of his fleet. He had lost. They see us, he whispered. Kale stood beside him, shaking his head in disbelief. No, sir. They don't just see us. They understand us now. Rylak knew what that meant. The Krell could never return to Earth. The humans had evolved beyond them. With nothing left to do, he gave the final order. Retreat.